Hello there, welcome to Talking Balearics with me, Martin Makepeace, in a very bright and breezy Ibiza.
And me, Richie Pryor, in a beautiful sunny, not breezy actually, but all right. It's a little bit chilly, Mark, I would say. When I ventured out this morning on my way to the radio, it was quite chilly this morning and looks like it's going to get colder. We've got a storm coming, I hear.
A little bit, Rich, but spring is definitely sprung, hasn't it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I've just had a lovely lunch at Hostel La Torre, which is a beautiful place in San Antonio, very part of the Mambo group, open all year round. And I've got to say, Rich, it was absolutely fantastic. It really was. Overlooking the sea.
Another one of your freebies, was it?
Well, I didn't pay today, but I'm sure I'll be paying. I'm sure I'll be. No, I was invited by a good friend of mine, Andy Bottrell, who kind of gets me.
Oh, yeah. Who's
part of the tour operator world, so he fills me with all the top tour operating world, and he tells me it's very tough out there at the moment, Rich, especially because he specialist places are Maldives and Dubai, so you can imagine what that's happening there, mate.
Dear, oh dear, that's not great.
Yeah, but you know, we have to plod on through, don't we? As you do. How are you, mate? Anyway,
yeah, really good, thank you. Really good. Yeah. Ready for today. So, what have I got for you?
No early words about Sunday. No, you don't want to go there, Rich, or
Sunday? This is Talking Balearics, Mark. We don't talk about how Arsenal got on at the weekend.
Okay, so I thought you did, mate. When you win, you normally talk about Arsenal.
I do. I do.
Let's move on. Let's not...
Mickey Mouse, mate. Mickey Mouse. You don't need to worry about it. Yeah, we concentrate on the league, as they say.
I think that's done and dusted, Rich. I mean, you've still got a three-pronged assault. So I think I'll put you down for two of those. Two out of three.
Thanks.
Will do, wouldn't it?
One will do me right now.
Rich, this is Talking Balearics, our weekly podcast talking about all things happening on the greatest islands in the world. I'd like to know what you got for me this week, if possible.
Brussels saying the Balearics must lift its ban on apartment holiday rentals.
Wow.
Is a story I've got.
Well, I didn't see that. I mean, that's controversial straight away. Yeah, okay. That's good.
I've also got, I can't remember if you did talk about this last week, Spain's Happy Index. Did we talk about this last week?
I don't think so, no.
So I've got Spain's Happy Index. Where's the happiest places to live, particularly in the Balearics?
That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you listened to my podcast last week, or our podcast last week.
Yeah, I'm seem to remember you saying something, but I can't remember. I don't listen to what you're saying, remember. I'm just concentrating on what I'm doing.
Okay, well, you know, at your age, mate, you have to concentrate on what you're doing, don't you?
No, most definitely. Most definitely. And I've got 3 football stories for you today.
Oh, Rich, come on. You know that turns on about 1 in 3, that does, mate, and it turns off 2 in 3. But, you know,
but listen. Listen, can I just say, for the ladies out there, I've got something for the ladies in the football chat.
Lovely. It's not David Beckham in his boxes, is it? Or that's me being sexist there, isn't it? God, I can't believe that. I'll have to edit that one out at the end. Right, okay. Anything else for anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, I've got a Conseil de Ibiza. So basically, the Ibiza Council have put a new initiative out there giving out money. Now, it's not what they're doing, it's how they're doing it, which I'm going to report on, which is very interesting. Also, we've got Soletes. You know what Soletes is, Rich? Soletes?
No idea.
The Guia Repsol. Now, the Guia Repsol is the Spanish equivalent of the Michelin Guide. Okay, so basically it's talking about food and restaurants and where to go. And there's 16 new Soletes have just been given out to the Balearic Islands. So I'm just going to go through that in detail. And finally, I've got a clubbing story, Rich, because somebody's just been announced as a High resident. High, don't forget, is the big club in Playa d'Embossa, formerly known as Space. They've renovated it and it's now called High, part of the Ushuaia group. They've just announced a residency, which is very interesting. And maybe it's not the residency that's the interesting bit about it. It's what it represents. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail on that as well. So, Richie, how are you and what have you got for me?
Well, the Balearic government is insisting that it will not back down on its prohibition of new holiday rental accommodation places. The European Commission has demanded that regulations are amended. The ban only applies to apartments, and therefore only means that no new holiday rental license can be granted for apartments, a cornerstone of the government's tourism containment measures. The EC first raised the objection when the government issued the containment decree last year, and a formal communication was sent to the regional government warning that the ban could violate services directive and article number 49, of course, which I'm sure you're aware of, which prohibits which prohibits restriction on the freedom of establishment of citizens of other countries, it says.
Wow. I mean, where did you get this source? Where's this source from, Rich? Because I've never seen this before.
It only appeared today, actually, to be perfectly honest.
What, in the bulletin or where?
Yeah, in the bulletin, yeah.
Right, I'll have a look at this because
the main story in the bulletin today.
Because this really does throw a spanner in the works. Not that anything will change, but it just shows you that the Spanish government doesn't really play by the rules, does it?
Well, yeah, but then again, this is like us sort of talking. I remember one of the reasons we got out of Brexit. Well, we brought in Brexit was that we were, I say we. That's nothing to do with me, really, is it? In the UK, is that we were, self-governing, and we would do our own decisions on what we decided what we were going to do. Does this mean Spain are going to go down that route as well, Mark? I don't know.
I don't think so, Rich. I mean, all I would say is about the rental of properties and villas. They've doubled down, haven't they? The separate islands, they've really doubled down on it. I mean, you guys, you do issue licenses, but they're very strict now, aren't they? On the licenses, and I think they're very expensive.
A lot of fines have been given out for people without licensing.
Yeah, I mean, and over here as well, there was a great story last week or 2 weeks ago that a guy had a €200,000 fine, and he basically got an 80% reduction as long as he put his apartment into the scheme where it's low rental scheme. Yeah, so okay. it's the first time it's ever happened that the fine was in the hundreds of thousands, and he got an 80% discount because he put it into the scheme where people could rent the house. So things are happening, but this is interesting. It's a bit like the taxis as well, Rich, where Uber's allowed all over the world, but when it comes to the Balearic Islands in Spain, it hits a big block wall, should I say. So Spain do like to play by their own rules on certain situations, but I can't see this getting any legs whatsoever because we're too far down the road, and the Ibiza government and the Mallorca government have said that they do not want private apartments to rent for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and listen, I think once again, we should be able to govern what we think is best, particularly when we're talking about tourism sustainability as well. For the islands, maybe more so. Mainland, maybe you could have a case, but on the islands, it's really, really important that we look at all ways of means of keeping the numbers down. Excellent.
Yeah. Conseil Ibiza, Rich, just to let everyone know, the Conseil is the island council. So you've got Conseil de Mallorca, haven't you, I presume, which is in Palma, and we've got Conseil of Ibiza. Now, what they do is they give out various grants, and they come up with initiatives. And the latest initiative, Rich, is €850,000, which has been earmarked for tourism promotion projects aimed at developing new experiences and supporting local businesses across the island. Now, what's interesting in this, Rich, is not exactly interesting. Is not that it's €850,000 designated for businesses. It's where they're designated to. Now we're going to go back to that age-old. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
To their friends.
You're giggling. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there is that line of thought, Rich. I couldn't possibly comment on that as well. But what they're trying to do is they're focusing now on extending the season and diversifying tourism. I mean, how many times have we had this conversation? Now, what's interesting about this grant now is that the projects eligible are things like sports tourism, gastronomy experiences, cultural events, digital tourism, innovation, and training in the hospitality sector. So in other words, Ibiza isn't just investing in attracting more tourists, it's investing in attracting different types of visitors at different times of the year. Let me get it right. That's what happens when you read from a script. So basically, it's diversifying. Now, I think there's this big thing in the background where we know what we're good at peak season. We know from June, July, August, September, maybe for 10 weeks out or 12 weeks out of those 16 weeks, you're going to be absolutely chock-a-block. But it's the low months and the shoulder months that we need to work on. So basically what they're trying to do is just innovation out there. Can you put bums on seats low season? If you can, apply for a grant. Simple as that. Conseil d'Ibiza. Now, I would just say that I had a meeting not so long ago with the Conseil about Ibiza Cricket Club. Okay. And I couldn't say they were very interested. I mean, they didn't seem disinterested, but cricket's a bit of an alien concept, isn't it, for the Spanish? But when I mentioned that all our games were in April, May, September, and October, they suddenly perked up, Rich, because basically we're a low season sport. So that's just an example of something that's good low season, which we know we can't play peak season because we can't get a team out because everyone's working. So all our games are crammed into 4 months, but the lowest of the low season. So if you are in Ibiza and you're looking to invest in technology or invest in something and you want low season or annual travel, so out of season travel, then there might be something in it for you.
Good. And did you get a grant?
Not yet. Oh, yeah, we did actually. To be honest, the Conseil have been. I've got to say, Rich, the Conseil have been great with the cricket club. They really have, and it just shows you that they have got money as long as you pull the right chains.
Good. Let's look at the happy index of Spain.
Now,
quite interesting.
I'm intrigued in this because isn't Finland and Norway always on the top of the happy index anyway?
But we're only talking Spain now. This is just a Spanish taken from 8,000 Spanish localities, applying a multi-factor approach that includes climate conditions, healthcare access, educational infrastructure, and territorial connectivity.
Wow! Now, I'm not going to say this very often, Rich, but I'm actually genuinely interested in what you're about to tell me.
Using a scoring scale from 0 to 100, the analysis aims to quantify perceived life satisfaction across the country's diverse regions.
Wow. Okay.
Now, you're going to be very happy to hear this. Within the Balearics, Ibiza leads overall with the highest score.
Wow, I can't believe that. I'm usually surrounded by whingers, so I'm quite surprised with that, to be honest.
But Mallorca presents particularly noteworthy figures that reveal a unique insular well-being landscape. The data indicates clear geographical trends like well-being levels with specific environmental and demographic features. So the leading municipalities in Mallorca, I was surprised about the first one, to be honest with you. The second and third, I'm not surprised. The first one is actually Llucmajor.
Oh, Llucmajor, okay, yeah.
I know
Llucmajor, yeah, very nice place.
88.44 points, confirm its status as Mallorca's municipality with the highest well-being score, characterised by its extensive coastline. It is on the coast, and significant agricultural land. Llucmajor's blend of rural charm and tourism appeal appears to boost its residents' quality of life.
Okay, interesting.
Second place is where I live, in Calvia.
Of course.
87.73 points. I mean, municipality traditionally associated with upscale tourism and long-standing infrastructure investments encompassing areas like Magaluf, Palma Nova and Santa Ponsa. Calvia enjoys 300 days of annual sunshine and strong transport links to Palma, of course, being obviously close to the airport. We're 20 minutes away, really, more or less. And completing the top three. What do you think is completing the top three out of all these?
It's got to be Palma, hasn't it? No, it's probably going to be Andrax.
No, Valdemossa.
Valdemossa, okay.
Yeah, 86.97. Palma came down very low because obviously, there's not much coastline. There's no agricultural land. Do you know what I mean? It's all high. Well, it's half the population live in Palma. Let's put it like this. But Valdemossa, the mountain village in the heart of the Sierra de Tramontana, presents an exception to the predominantly coastal pattern seen in other leading areas. Known for its cultural heritage connected to Chopin and Georges Sand, Valdemossa also benefits from a UNESCO World Heritage recognised landscapes as well. Valdemossa is beautiful.
Yeah, I've never really spent a lot of time in Valdemossa, Rich. I must put that on my list.
Yeah, from a football point of view, Mark, you'll never see a more picturesque football ground in all your playing or all your watching, to be honest with you. It's beautiful, the football ground in Valdemossa, yeah.
And talk to me about Ibiza, Rich. Any municipalities?
It doesn't give me the in-depth analysis of Ibiza. You're probably going to have to go and look that up yourself, Mark, because obviously this is they're obviously just concentrating on Mallorca here. They are, yeah. They don't give me Ibiza. I'm sorry.
So you did all your research then, did you? Okay.
Well, as you know, Mark, I'm Mallorca based and you're Ibiza based. So
but in my next segment, I'm going to specifically talk about Mallorca as well, Rich. But doesn't matter. Let's move on. But that's good. I mean, just a bit. My feedback on that, Rich, is I was joking about the whinges, by the way, because everyone likes a whinge, don't they? It's just the way we're programmed. But Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca, Formentera do give us amazing lifestyles, don't they? It's simple as that. And especially if you get out the cities, you said, get out of Ibiza town, get out of Palma. You really are blessed, especially if you're on the coastline. Up the coastline there, it's fabulous, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, beautiful.
Gear the Repsol, Rich. Do you know anything about the Gear the Repsol, Rich?
No.
Okay. Well, funny enough, I do, only because I did a couple of blogs on it a few years ago, so I've been following it since. Now, it's basically the Spanish version of the Michelin Guide. Now, the Michelin Guide is world-renowned. If you're a 2-star Michelin chef or a 3-star Michelin chef, you are a serious player in the food market. And Repsol do something similar. They give sols out, so they give suns out. So if you're 1 sun, 2 sun, 3 sun, then that gives you a little idea of the quality of the restaurant. Now, what happened, why it's called the Guia de Repsol, is that originally it came out as a information book for when you were traveling up and down the country. And Repsol, if you don't know, is a petrol station, or a gasolinera, as we'd say over here. So Repsol started this book, and this guide, should I say, and it grew legs, and it became a bit of a Bible where food is concerned. Now, they've just released their new guide out, and I've got to say, I love this segment that they've got, because it's not called suns, it's called Soletes, Rich. Now, I didn't know what Solete meant. Did you?
Well, obviously something to do with sun, I would have thought.
It means sunshine. I had to look it up, actually. Solete means sunshine. So it gives these sunshine badges out, and it gives it to this is exactly my kind of place. It gives it to local places which have good food and a great atmosphere in served by good people. So basically the places that me and you would eat at, Rich. Yeah. So for instance, at my local bars of Cibo or in town Benitez, or just local bars, basically, Rich. So what they've done, they've just done 16 new Soletes for the Balearic Islands. Now I'm gonna see if you know any of these, right? So they've given 7 in Mallorca, 5 in Menorca, and 4 in Ibiza. Okay, now these are the type of places I think that me and you would eat at. So if I came to see you and you said, let's go local, this is where we go. So I'm going to go through them quickly. So in Mallorca, the 7 new Soletes, the Sunshine Awards go to Blat Al Sac in Palma, Gibson Bar in Palma, Bar Rita in Palma, Californels in Peguera, Safon Fresca in Dea, Cas Architect in Centelles, and New in Monturi. Do you know those, Rich?
Yeah, I've heard of any of them.
Okay. But Burger King's not on here. No, it's not on here, and KFC's not on here, Rich. So maybe you might be struggling a bit as well.
We've got 5 guys coming to town, Mark.
You're 5 guys. That's where you're going to
be. That's where I am.
Let's include Menorca in it, because I got some feedback that we don't mention in Menorca. So Menorca have got 5 new ones: Bar Marcelino in Mahon, Vida Una in Mahon, Imperi in Thuitadella, Primitiu in Thuitadella, and Perbacco in Ferrerias, which I always struggle with that word as well. So
me too.
Ferrerias. I'm sure it's Ferrerias. So that's 5 new, and Ibiza's got 4 new Sunshine Awards, and this is where it gets interesting. Can Mestre in San Jose, Estimbal in San Jose, Solea in Santialia, and Hostel Mari in San Antonio, which is one of my local food places, mate. So I'm really made up for that family. And it's exactly right. As I said, these are the places where you don't need to spend a fortune. You know, when you come over and you're spending 150 quid a head here and 150 quid a there, these places you can go in, have a good bit of snap, a few beers, and you're probably talking maybe 20 quid each, maximum, something like that. So
hang on a minute, a good bit of snap. What's that all about? Is that a Nottingham saying?
It's what we say. It's what we say in Derbyshire, mate. A bit of snap. Now, all I would say as well, Rich, is that these guides. Let's talk TripAdvisor for a second. You know yourself, mate. TripAdvisor can make or break a restaurant or a bar, and so these guides now, they really are very important. If you've got a restaurant or a hostelry, that's where you need to be. You need to be up there on TripAdvisor. You need to be up there on the Google rankings, and you need to be up there in Repsol. So great little story. I love that. I love the fact it's a Sunshine Award. I love the fact that it's local foods. It's not these bling places where you go in and you take a picture with your Instagram and you kind of film yourself eating it, and really it's not very good. Yeah, but it looks good on the gram. These are places which are genuinely good, genuinely friendly, and I think tourists could do a lot worse when looking up these places and go and have a bit of a bite to it when they come over to the islands.
Please send me the list of Mallorca. I'd like to.
I would. Yeah, no, I need you to go
more detail.
I need to go there one by one, Rich, and
expenses paid, or
just tell them who you are, mate. I'm sure you'll get it on the house.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right, listen. I have 3 football stories for you.
Is there anyone about Arsenal or?
No, nothing. They're all local. Okay,
good.
You can have what can you have? You can have a youth football story. You can have Real Mallorca story, or you can have what I think is the biggest story, which I think is I can't believe we haven't talked about this before. I know it's been out there a week or so. I did mention it last week for some reason. I don't know why. That the Lionesses are going to be playing La Roja here in Mallorca on June the 5th.
Wow, I didn't know that, Rich.
Yeah.
When did that come out? Okay.
About a week ago, I think it was.
I presume it's on Mosh, yeah?
It's on Mosh, yeah. I blogged about it actually this week because I think it's a fantastic thing.
Oh, wow.
It happens on June the 5th. It's a Friday night. They haven't said exactly what time the kickoff's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be in the evening because we're in June. And happens at Somos. Tickets haven't gone on sale yet. They're not being sold by the club. They're being sold by the RFEF, a bit like they do on, if you look at for the Copa del Rey, for instance, they'll be selling them online. So I've been asked by loads of different people already, where can I get tickets? And I've sort of said, well, let's wait. I don't know yet. I'll find out. So this is
big story. Big story that is. I mean, arguably the two biggest female teams in the world. You're
looking at the World Cup holders and the European champion holders. Do you know what I mean? So it's two, big teams basically. I mean, they're Spain are ranked number 1 and England are currently ranked number 4 in the world right now. But it's still a great story. And obviously, you're going to have a lot of tourists here during that particular time.
You're going to go, Rich?
Well, funnily enough, when I found out the date, I went, "Oh no!" We put our radiothon on the same day.
Oh no!
Which I didn't know, and I would have definitely have gone, Mark. I would have definitely gone. But we need to obviously talk very quickly about women's football. I don't know what it's like in Ibiza, but here it's got.
No, it's really getting big over here, mate. And I saw that my local team, San Antonio, have one in the Ibiza team, one in the Balearic team, and also one in the national team, by the way, Rich. There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we've got three girls in the national team. We've got Catacol, who's the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
She plays for Barcelona. We've also got Mariona Caldente, who plays for my team, the Arsenal, actually.
Yeah.
And just to say that Cata was born in Portol in Mallorca. Mariona was born in Felanich. And Patri, this is a real strange name that I'm never going to get my words around, but I think it's called Guijarro.
It's Patrick Guijarro, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's a great player.
A midfield player born in Palma. She plays for Barcelona as well. So three girls in the national team. And obviously then we get, from an expat point of view and anybody who's here from the UK on holiday, we get a chance to see the Lionesses play as well.
Oh, that's big. That's big, mate. That's really big. I mean, it really is. And also they say arguably the two biggest teams in Mallorca. Fantastic. I think that'd be a sellout.
I think so as well, actually.
Yeah,
I do.
I don't think tickets will be difficult to come by. I don't mean that nasty. I think you'll be able to buy them at face value.
But, you will.
But I think that will sell out. Great. What's your next football story, Rich?
Well, I have to talk about my son's game at the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Probably one of the best games of football I've seen in a long, long while. We played, my son's team's called Palma. They played Peñarabal, who are top of the league. My son's team are in 9th. And it was 3-2. They were 3-2 down at half time. It went 4-2 down, and they were pretty much cruising Peñarabal, to be honest with you. 10 minutes
They're a good. I like Peñarabal as a club, by the way. I've got to tell you, they're at it, aren't they?
Yeah, and both teams made quite a few substitutions, and it seemed to affect Peña more than it affected us. And in fact, we were all over him in the last 10 minutes. We missed 2 sitters, but we managed to score an equaliser. I think it was about the 92nd or 93rd minute. And so we're all jumping for joy and everything else. So then they go up the other end, get a penalty. And I'm thinking, oh no, once you get back to 4-4, you don't want to lose on a penalty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it was literally the last kick because the ref said, penalty's going to get taken and that's it. The game's over. So, one of their boys took the penalty and my son saved it.
Oh, yeah. So there's nothing like living your football life for your children, Rich, is
no, it's brilliant, Mike. It was so good.
Did you run on the pitch and all that stuff?
No, I didn't embarrass myself. You can see me running. If there is pictures, see me running behind the goal, of course.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually run on the pitch. I've done that before and embarrassed myself greatly. So I don't do that anymore. But it was great.
I've seen the videos, Rich.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, I'm Jude. Obviously, your son's Jude. What's he? 16 now.
16. Yeah.
He's playing for the Juvenile.
Yeah.
Which is a second tier of youth football. So it's a very good standard, isn't it?
Yeah. It's good standard. It's good standard. So obviously they were over the moon over the weekend. Not so much over the moon. Go on.
I was going to say, let's move on to the. I know where your third story is going, Rich, because I follow this game.
Real Mallorca, God dear. If ever a team is there to, flatter to deceive sometimes, it's Mallorca, particularly away from home, as you know. We've won one game so far already this year, or this whole season against Sevilla. We drew away a couple of weeks ago, not so soon after being 2-0 up. And we were 1-0 up away at Ellenger. We played pretty well, apparently, because I haven't seen the game. I've only seen the highlights, actually. And then they equalised. Then they scored another goal, and we missed a penalty in the 90th minute.
Oh, did you miss a penalty? I didn't see that. Oh, you missed a penalty.
Mariki skied it over the bar.
Of all the people to, yeah. I mean, that means you're in the bottom three now, mate, aren't you?
We're back in the bottom three, and just the small game next one. So obviously, it's an international break this week, so nothing happened this weekend. So when we come back on April the 4th, we're playing Real Madrid at home.
Nice. You never know. Madrid might be exhausted from their European exploits.
Well, what we're hoping is that they are playing in Europe that following week. They're playing. Who have they got? I think they've got Bayern, haven't they? That's who they're playing.
Oh, that'll be a good game. Ooh.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see if they actually rest some players, which they might well do. Do you know what I mean? Just because they're I think they're 4 points off Barcelona in La Liga right now. So there's an opportunity there possibly for Mallorca. Obviously, we're better at home than we are away. Let's be honest about it. But we'll see. Barcelona are currently 5 points clear. Sorry, of 4. I was right the first time. 4 from Barcelona top 73, Real Madrid second on 69. Just go to the relegation though, Mark. I think you could probably go as high as Valencia in 12th place. Already 7 points clear of relegation. There's still 9 games to go. I still think somebody's going to get pulled into it. I don't know who, but we still have to play teams around us. We've still got to play Alaves just above us. We've still got to play Levante and Real Oviedo below us. So let's see. It's in our hands. We've got
bad
5
loss.
at home.
Bad loss, Rich.
It was a bad loss. 5 at home, 4 away.
Bad loss. Just want to say, I mentioned the young lady who plays for the Spanish national team. Her name is Marga Miguez. She plays for Spain under 16s. She's played for Spain under 15s. And she's also trained with the senior team as well, mate. So that's from little old SD Portmanny supplying.
Well done them.
Supplying the players for the national under 15 team as well. Are you done on the footy there, Rich?
Footy, I'm done. Yeah.
Footy, yeah. Last story from me, Rich. Let's go clubbing, because it's that time of year where everybody is now talking about clubs, talking about what's going to happen. There's new things being announced all the time. But one thing caught my eye this week. Now, I don't know much about this guy. I mean, I think my kids and your kids would know all about him. It's a guy called Skepta. Okay.
Oh yeah, and I've heard the name.
Yeah, Skepta. You're a DJ, Rich. I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure you've played his tunes on your turntable a few times. But well, I think he's is it grime or whatever? I think that's what he does. He's a grime DJ. But it's not the fact that he's been announced, but he's been announced at High on a Saturday night. Okay, now High on a Saturday night. High Ibiza is in Playa Bossa. It's part of the Ushuaia group. Regularly voted in the top 2 or 3 best clubs in the world. Now, Saturday night is already their biggest night with Black Coffee. Okay, Black Coffee is a South African DJ. He's pretty much world renowned. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves.
Yeah, sells out everywhere he goes.
Black Coffee, yeah, he's fantastic. He really is. Yeah, I mean, I've listened to some of his music, and what he does, he kind of mixes in Afro beats, and he's not just like hard rave music or anything like that. So what they've done is they've announced Skepta in the next room. So, and I read a report on it I think it was in DJ Mag, saying what's happening now with the nights in Ibiza, just one DJ now, Rich, isn't enough. Okay. So they're almost creating mini festivals with their nights. So you're not getting just one superstar DJ, you're getting 2 or 3. And it just shows you the competition out there where they're just loading on these names all the time. So if Black Coffee doesn't get you, Skepta will, and I presume there'll be a really good warm-up act too. So it just shows you that these experiences around the artists are getting bigger and bigger all the time. So And it's not just about the night anymore. It's about the brands, it's about the visuals, the lineups, and also the global marketing on social media. So, it's an interesting move in a direction. I think the clubbing world in Ibiza never stands still. And many ways they're outliers, Rich, because they have to be. Because if they don't reinvent themselves, they struggle. I mean, look what happened in certain clubs last year. So they really have to reinvent themselves. So it's just an interesting one. DJ Skepta will be on in High on a Saturday night.
Well, if you've bought a ticket for that particular venue, will you be able to go to the two places?
Yeah, no, they're in the same. They're in the same unit, mate. So, but there's different rooms. So,
at High,
for instance,
that's what I'm asking.
It's three different rooms. So you've got like always in the back of there, we used to have a back room which was full of workers, but now, there's a terrace. So they're different theme rooms. And High, I think they've got three. They've got the main room, they've got a side room, and another one there. So he will be playing. He did say exactly where he's going to play. So long.
But would it also mean that the ticket price might be a little bit higher because you're hitting two big headliners?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the ticket prices are always brought out at the start of the year. But I think what they're doing, they're looking ways to maximise the price, and also they're looking to maximise the experience. And if they maximise the experience, the price goes up, Rich, doesn't it? So Skepta is going to be in the club room, okay? And his night is called Mas Tiempo. So you can have black coffee in the main room, and you can have Skepta in the club room. So what they're doing, mate, is they're hedging the bets, aren't they? They want the competition's so much out there. They want the lot. So they're saying, well, if Skepta doesn't get you black coffee, will, and vice versa. Yeah. So an interesting way that the clubbing night's going to go. And as we saw with Universe last year, it's just up the game across the board, Rich. So there'll be a lot of twists and turns, but that's the latest clubbing news over from the White Isle. And
I think it probably then also might be thinking about it logically, is that start to put pressure on other clubs that would have to maybe put on, or think that they might have to put on two headliners rather than one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just ups the ante, Richard. I think, it just, as I said, it just makes other people take up and sit up and take notes and go, well, actually, we need to up our game here. So, competition's good, Rich. I know sometimes the Spanish government don't understand this concept, but competition is very good, and it just creates the desire to get better. And I think the clubbing experience in Ibiza is getting better year on year.
Good. That's it, Mark.
I think we're done, Richie. Great.
Yes.
Got to say, before I go, I had a great weekend in the Lake District walking, Rich. And it was a super weekend. So thanks to everybody who helped out with that. And Ambleside we went to, and it was fantastic. How England should be, mate. Glorious England. We had Sunday lunch and, met some good old friends and really enjoyed it. So thanks for everyone who made that possible.
And thanks to everybody that sort of either stopped me or messaged me about the pod and saying how much they enjoy listening to it. It's funny that you obviously don't realise how many people do listen to this. As you know, as you've told me, we're big. Apparently, we're big in the Italian charts, Mark.
Yeah, but
how did that come apart?
We've gone down in Chile this week, mate, which I'm upset about it. Yeah, but we're doing well. We're doing on the UK and Italy. We're getting up there, but in the Chile charts, we seem to have gone down. So I'm not sure who's listening to us in Chile. But we're getting great feedback every week, Rich. And
we are.
I've got a guy last week who said that he'd only been in Ibiza a couple of years, and he learns a lot from the podcast, which I think is really good, because that's what it's here for, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Rich. Great to speak to you.
Take care, Mark.
Have a great week.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Make me dance.